If you have been struggling to get sales from your design work or understanding what you really need to do to make money, I have the workshop for you. On September 23rd, I'm hosting my first ever Profitable Designer Workshop. This 1-day, 3-hour workshop is only $97, but I have a discount for all my podcast listeners. Go to carinagardnercourses.com/profit and put in the code podcast for $50 off. I can't wait to see you more profitable. Welcome to the Make and Design Podcast. I'm your host, Carina Gardner. On this podcast, we're unraveling the everyday joys and dilemmas of design, making, and business. For makers who want to be designers and for designers who are makers, this is your inside scoop to help you grow your business and bring more creativity to your life. Hey there, guys. So today I want to talk about community because it is something that has popped up a lot the last few months in my community, and we have been talking about what makes a good community. In particular, my team has been talking about it as well as we kind of watch our members interact in Design Suite and talking about how do we create an amazing environment so that the community can strive. And so I thought it would be fun to talk to you about, I know we have people even in our membership who are working on memberships, right? And so talking about how do we create a good community, how do you build those relationships, and why is it so valuable for you? So I've been surprised at this, but the more I think about my community, I think about the leadership involved in that community. First of all, there are tiers, right? I have to be a good leader in that community so that people know I'm watching it, I'm reading it, I'm observing, and I'm trying to answer questions. But it's just not all about me, you guys. And that's the thing that really came into like my own aha moment on this. We have several members in the community who will go and answer and make videos and teach others in the community. They're constantly giving to others, and hopefully, I'm hoping they're also getting. And what I really think you need in a community is the givers and the takers, and that everybody is playing that 50-50. Now, not all at the same time. So if I'm a designer who is, kind of a year into it, right? If I'm a little further into it, it's going to be easier for me to give because I've been there. I've seen what the other members are going through. And what my hope is, those that are right now taking, because they need to, they have to take, they need information, that in 6 months from now, then they're the ones that will be giving. Does that make sense? And if we promote that atmosphere within the community that we're going to take and we're going to give, and that's going to help grow this community, then my hope is that membership will feel that. They're going to be grateful for all the members who gave to them and want to give back. And I already see members doing that, which is so incredible. So that's one of the things I would look for in communities that you're trying to either establish or be a part of, is creating an atmosphere where people feel like they can take and give. Something else that was mentioned in the community that I thought was so fascinating is that they felt like the community was safe. And I really am still pondering what makes a community safe. What makes an atmosphere safe? We all know over the last few years, I've seen it on Instagram and Facebook where there are kind of snarky, nasty comments going on, people who are clearly unhappy or insecure in their lives, and they're the 1%. There's not very many of them, and they're reaching out on these Facebook groups, or I've seen them in private communities as well, and nobody loves those people. It hurts the atmosphere and it makes it feel unsafe. And it has been interesting to me because I still see some of that going on in Facebook. I'm in some groups where there's some toxic things going on, and the more I have gotten into it, the more I realized, where do I feel safe? And always it's in a community I've paid for. And I don't know what it is. I think by paying to be in that community, for me, that's my mastermind. For in my group, it's Design Suite. But when you pay to come into a community, one of the things that happens is that people tend to be a little more like-minded. Like, here, we're paying to be here, so let's not waste anybody's time. Let's do the work we've got to do. it almost always feels like all of this nasty stuff, it happens in the free areas, which says a lot. So be careful about free communities. The more I've gotten into great communities and seen what great communities are doing for me, the more I recognize that paying to be in one is an amazing way to actually lift myself up and become better at my job, better as a human being, better building relationships, because I'm not scared of the people that are coming into that community, because everyone has paid to be there for one reason or another. So just be aware of that. I love memberships for that reason, because when you pay to be in that group, first of all, you recognize that those groups are at a certain level, which is so amazing. I think in order to foster that atmosphere of community, you as the leader, you as someone who loves whatever it is that you're doing or teaching, should go out of your way to set the tone. So if you are high vibration, happy, positive, trying to come to the forefront and be a good example for the people that are coming into your community. And for me, it's my program, because we have several aspects of community there. What will happen is that people will rise to that level. And that's the thing I see over and over again, that I am the example, which is a little bit scary because I'm still learning as I go, right? I'm no way am I perfect. So I'm constantly trying to rise to the occasion and bring kind of that level of energy and positivity and happiness to the group that I know that we all need. We need that kind of safe environment for that kind of positivity. And by the way, this is just as a side note, if you have people who are bringing you down for some reason in your life, or maybe just not saying the right things in your life that you need them to say to make you feel that positivity, you can have that conversation. But second of all, do your best to distance yourselves and draw more into a community that's going to lift you up. I just feel like, you guys, this life is too short to not have great relationships with people. I think Design Suite members could tell you what I value the relationships I have with them, because they are my community. And I love seeing what they're doing, helping them, and then them also giving back to me. They're constantly giving back to me, which I appreciate so much. I used to think that I was in charge. I find that I'm really not in charge. I'm just there to be a good example and model the things that I'm doing in my own career, my own design business, so that they can do the same, which is pretty phenomenal. It gets me super excited. So I hope that you go out there and you find, I call it community, but relationships that are going to matter to you, that are going to be meaningful to you, that will help build you up. My hope, I know for my Design Suite members, and they're starting to do this, is as they get to know each other, they're taking those relationships out of my program. And I feel really good about that. That's my hope, is that you spend a year with me and then you get out of the program, and what happens? You have those relationships to fall back on and say, oh my gosh, this is happening here. This is happening here. Part of that whole insider knowledge that we like to have in Design Suite is that you get that by simply knowing the membership, that all of us are doing all of these amazing things to make money as designers, and you get that inside info far after you leave a program like mine, which it sounds like no one's leaving, but eventually I want you guys to fly, and I want you to still have those relationships with me and with other members. And so that's what I'm looking for in a community. I know I've done that in my communities. I've built those relationships, and I know that I can reach out at any time to see if there's something I need to ask a question about or brainstorm on. There is so much power in the collective knowledge of the people around you, especially ones that are doing what you're doing. And in particular, our communities, you guys, designers, we are alone. We are so alone, because what we do for a living, actually, all the wonderful things like flexibility, and most of us tend to be introverts in some way, shape, or form. We tend to be alone doing the thing we're doing. And so suddenly when we reach out and we get to be a part of other people's lives so that we can build that community, what happens? we get smarter, we get more strategic, we get the inside knowledge. And that is why we actually need community. We need all of those things. And most of us tend to be women as well. And we need those relationships. Women need other women. That's what I find in my life. I really love those relationships I have with other women. All right, guys, I hope this helped you. And if you are looking for a great community, you can come join us in a design boot camp. We try to do this, I'm going to say every month, but as the program fills up, we don't do them quite as often. So come join us in a design boot camp. And if you are interested in our community, I would love to talk to you about it. Design boot camp, you can join us at www.carinagardnercourses.com/design bootcamp. Hey, did you know that you can visit me at makeanddesign.com to learn more about this podcast and join my VIP group for weekly freebies? I can't wait to see you there.